And I thought to myself, I have never, ever heard an up close and personal performance with a string quartet and a pedal steel guitar. Never heard that. And I got Steve and I got Donnie. I said, I'm not going to be able to get these guys in the studio because Steve's already done his string parts. But if I could get Donnie to come in and put his pedal steel, and to arrange it to where both of them have a chance to shine, but also when they come together, those moments would just be magical as far as how they would actually, how the two sounds of those instruments would, or those two musical parts would blend together. I thought it could be something special, but man, between COVID and his job and traveling and all this stuff, Donnie, and plus he was playing, it still does, playing with a group called the Guava Jam Band. They were all over the place. So every minute of discretionary time that he had was taken up because his job is incredibly demanding. So I said, maybe he ought to just, go ahead with that. I said, no. I said, this Donnie thing, I want Donnie on this. He's got to be on this. So he came over shortly before I published the album and put the two tracks on for This Is the Place and I'll Remember the Instrumental. And I was just floored. I knew when he was doing it, I knew because he did his thing. He did about, 3 or 4 tracks. And just to make sure that he got in, not only lead licks, but also some atmospheric stuff. He does that. We do that together as part of what we do. And he says, I'm sure I've given you enough to work with. You can work your magic. And so he did give you enough to work with. And between those string parts, which, they were not in the same room doing this. Steve had done those string parts at least a year, 18 months before Donnie ever had a chance to sit in there and do something, to play along with him. It just shows how creative and beautiful Steve could be with strings, but also how Donnie can be aware of that musical moment and that musical sound and be able to blend, his sound with the overall, string quartet lead part or the melody part. And then when he had his chance to shine with his lead to put in something so meaningful and so in touch with what the song was all about, whew, man, I sit back and listen to that song. And when I want to remember about something, that's what I listen to. I don't have any vocals. I mean, there are background little oohs that are in there just as a hopeful transition thing. And also at the end, they're beautiful at the end. But, when I want to sit back and just reflect and recall, that's the song I listen to. And I hope other people will find it as rewarding as I do as far as the listening thing is concerned.
Well, it's a great song. And I'm glad you decided to strip it down and repurpose it. It fits.
Well, I was lucky. Of course, I did By the Fence of the Sun at the Cosmopolitan, so I had all the tracks. And I was also able to re-engineer, with a little bit more wisdom and a better skill set. I was able to re-engineer that to make not only my acoustic guitar sound better, but also to make Pete stand out more and give Pete some clarity and some real artistic, creative moments, which he does with his cymbals and stuff like that so well. So yeah, it was a great engineering, I guess you could say, experience, but also it was a great performing experience. Just to see those, those people, Stevie and Donnie, come in and transform that tune into something that is completely new, but also carries the same spirit, because it was written about, my mom and Alzheimer's. It carries that spirit of love and warmth and caring and, memory. So I feel just really fortunate that all that came together so well.